Welcome to day 9 of 101 Days of Winter. Today I'm going to talk about the used game market in regards to Xbox One and the movie of choice, and might as well get started with today's t-shirt. Today's t-shirt is the IT Crowd shirt. I have a few IT Crowd shirts. This one's more of the old mess box art. So Xbox One is trying to remove the used and borrowed game market because developers such as EA are making less money off those games. So developers are choosing to take away that right, the right of resell, because they want more money. They want all your money. So does Microsoft. Microsoft wants all your money. So there's no borrowing games between friends anymore. So, say for example, your friend wanted to buy one game and you wanted to buy a different game, and money's tight. Money's always tight in this era. But say you wanted to play his game and he wanted to play your game, you can't do that now. You have to buy that game yourself. There's no, I'll see what the game's like. You have to decide whether or not you wanted to purchase that game or just not play it at all. Some people are going to say, well, why should you have it for free? But what happens to the people who have brothers and sisters? Brothers and sisters that don't live in the same house. They're now screwed. For them to play the game, you have to play that game on their account. Which I don't need to tell you, it isn't the same thing. In this last cycle, I think I've borrowed about 6 or 7 games off friends on the Xbox, and maybe 3 or 4 on the PS3. Now, if I wouldn't have borrowed, say for example, Mass Effect, I wouldn't have then played and bought Mass Effect later on. I wouldn't have bought Mass Effect 2 later on. I wouldn't have bought Mass Effect 3 later on. I wouldn't have played the Dragon Age series, which I then later paid for. I wouldn't have paid for Dark Void. But that's a good thing, because Dark Void was a horrible game. That's the thing. After you play the borrowed games, you can determine whether or not you would actually want to purchase that game later on. Maybe to play it again. Maybe it's better so you can buy the sequel. And then another sequel. So developers trying to basically get more money from you at the start, which is the new price, which can be over $110 Australian. That's a lot of money to just blindly give away. And if they block the used game market, if they block the fact that you can't borrow games anymore, people will go into their shells. They'll go, okay, I've got to be very sure on a game before I buy it. Now, do you know who that'll kill? That'll kill a lot of new IPs. That'll kill developers who aren't big freaking corporate dogs like EA. You're going to basically get people who know that a game's going to be quality because of the developer, and that ain't EA. That's more like Bethesda, for example. You know what you're going to get in a Bethesda. So Bethesda, who aren't all up in people's business, who support modding, they will benefit from it. There's a few other developers who will benefit from it, but most won't. Ubisoft would be one of the ones that probably want to implement DRM and blocking used games, because Ubisoft have turned into the French-Canadian EA. So, blocking my right to play one of my friend's games without then logging into his account, it's going to remove it's going to kill stuff like GameFly and GameStop, EB Games, because people aren't really willing to spend $110 straight up on a game they don't know much about. So to remove that right is a very sad thing. It's going to stop a lot of people playing video games. It's going to be all about the money. This is all what it's all about. It's all about the money. Which is very sad. Because I've been gaming for a long time now. And to have to come to terms with I can't play as many video games now Not because I have a successful life and have a job, so I've got less free time. I don't have a job. I don't have less free time. I've got so much free time I could really poke a stick at. Of course, most of that time is spent in a pit of depression, but video games, they brought me out of that pit more times than a lot of other things could. But to now not being able to do that without spending $110 each time, that's sad. Because some developers and some game companies want to screw you, the consumer. I find it very saddening that they want to do that because they care so much about my money, where if they do this, they won't get any of it. EA Games, man, what can you say? They are the cancer. So today's movie is Beverly Hills Cop 3. I picked it because it's the most memorable one to me. It's the most one I've watched the most. Don't know if it's the best one of the three. I just know it's more memorable to me because a lot of the theme park scenes, to a lot of the quotes, to just a lot of the settings that are in it. So yeah, I picked number 3. I can't suggest you go out and see number 3. You're going to need to see number 1 and 2 first. Not really sure which one is the best. I would say the first one's the best in terms of an actual the film on the whole. I just remember the third being the most funny. It made the least amount of money. It was had a lot of backlash from critics. So who knows? Probably go out and see the first one at least, and if the first one doesn't tickle your fancy, probably leave it there. But I picked number 3 because it's the most memorable one to me. So I just watched Silver Linings Playbook. Was interesting because they have a lot more. Both of the characters had a lot more issues than I do. Yet still had a happy ending. It's one of the weird things with me. Don't think I'm going to get said happy ending. It's a very weird thing. But it was a good film. I'm not sure if what I can take out of it. It's film. I'm not sure the message that I'm supposed to be. The message that I'm not sure there is a message, but I'm taking one from it. But I'm not sure if the message is, hey, as long as you're good looking, none of the issues matter that much. Or you have to find somebody who is deeply as crazy as you are if you are to find happiness. Or simply, I've done this to myself. And yeah, I'm wearing my new Liverpool one. This is one of my new ones. New Liverpool jersey. This one's got, hopefully you can see, it's got Carragher on the back. But yes, as you can, still wearing the IT Crowd shirt. One other thing I'll say about the movie is, thank God I've only got more depression kind of issues than rather bipolar and a couple of other things. Because holy crap, violence. I'm not very good with violence. Unless it's the band, then I kind of like violence. But thank kind of thing that I get down on myself and retreat rather than do a lot of the stuff that happened in that movie. So that's it for today. I guess that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.